The stranger at Brookline Station. Every morning at 7:03 a.m., the same train rolled into Brookline Station, carrying half-awake commuters, steaming coffee cups, and the quiet hum of small-town routine. But on the first Monday of September, something changed. A girl, maybe 19, maybe younger, stepped onto the platform with a worn-out blue backpack and eyes that looked like they'd searched the world for something they still couldn't find. Her name was Evelyn Hart, but people in town simply began calling her the girl on the 7th train. No one knew where she came from. No one knew why she always rode exactly 7 stops, then stepped off and disappeared. But everyone noticed her. Chapter 2, Oliver's Curiosity. Across the aisle sat Oliver Reed, a 22-year-old college dropout who worked at a tech store but dreamed of becoming a writer. He always carried a notebook filled with half-finished stories. He had seen her before. Quiet. Alone. Focused on a tiny silver pendant she always held in her palm. Every day, Oliver told himself he wouldn't stare. And every day he failed. On the 10th day of seeing her, he finally whispered to himself, "I need to know her story." Chapter 3, The Lost Letter. At the 5th station, the train jerked to a sudden stop. Evelyn dropped something, an envelope old and creased, with a faded British postage stamp. Before she could pick it up, Oliver reached it first. "Hey, you dropped this," he said. She froze. Her hand trembled slightly as she took the envelope. "Thank you," she replied softly. Her accent wasn't American. It was British. But not London, more like a small coastal town. "Are you from the UK?" Oliver asked. She hesitated. "I used to be." And with that, she stood up, stepped off the train at the 7th station, and disappeared into the morning fog. Chapter 4, A Story Begins. Oliver couldn't sleep that night. Something about the British girl with sad eyes and a secret letter pulled him in. So the next morning, he boarded the 7:03 a.m. again. She was there. Same seat. Same backpack. Same pendant. This time, she spoke first. "You're the guy who writes in the notebook," she said. Oliver laughed awkwardly. "You noticed." "People who write are always noticing others," she replied. That was the first morning they talked. And the second. And the third. Soon the entire train knew. They weren't strangers anymore. Chapter 5, The Truth Behind 7 Stops. "Why always 7 stops?" Oliver asked one day. Evelyn looked out the window. "Because that's the number he chose." "Who?" She took a deep breath. "My brother." Oliver stayed silent. "He died last year," she continued. "His last message was a letter. He told me to chase my dreams, ride a train for 7 stops every morning, and remind myself that life always moves, no matter how stuck we feel." And the pendant. It was his. Oliver's chest tightened. He finally understood the sadness in her eyes. Chapter 6, A Promise on the Platform. One rainy morning, Evelyn wasn't on the train. Oliver felt an unfamiliar panic. The next day, still nothing. On the 3rd day, he got off at the 7th station. He had never done that before. Outside the small cafe near the station, he found her sitting alone. "I thought you left," he said breathlessly. "I didn't leave," she whispered. "I just stopped moving." He sat beside her. "You told me trains move even when we can't," he said gently. "So let me sit with you until you can move again." She looked at him, really looked at him, and for the first time she smiled. "I'd like that." Chapter 7, New Journeys. Weeks passed. They began taking different trains, exploring different stations, writing stories together, sitting in cafes, walking through parks. Evelyn found laughter again. Oliver found inspiration again. One chilly morning, she handed him the old British letter. "Read it," she said. He opened it carefully. Inside was a message from her brother. To Evelyn. Find someone who helps you ride the next train, even when you feel like standing still. She looked at Oliver with gentle, hopeful eyes. I think I found that person, she whispered. Oliver took her hand. So did I. Epilogue, the 8th train. On the first Monday of April, the 7:03 a.m. train arrived at Brookline Station. But this time, Evelyn and Oliver didn't get on the 7th stop. They stayed for 8. A new stop. A new story. A new beginning. Sometimes, all it takes to change your life is one train, one stranger, and one moment of courage.